Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
It's Wednesday, and all of our guests today, including Rick Bowness, standing by. Brought to you by our title sponsor, Able Auctions, ableauctions.ca. We're joined now by NHL analyst, Hockey Night in Canada, TNT, former NHL coach, spent a lot of time in the Canucks organization, Rick Bowness. Rick, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
Just doing great, thanks. Nice to see you guys again.
Absolutely. Right back at you. What was your old buddy Scott Arneal up to yesterday in Winnipeg, barking with Joe Sacco? That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. Well, we all talk about the importance of passion in our game, in our league. So, and you never want to take that out, and sometimes with the passion comes a little bit of, you overdo it a little bit, but that's fine. You've got to react to how you feel at the moment, and that's all part of our game, actually.
Yeah, old school fun. 8-1 for the Jets over Boston yesterday. I know they've hit a bit of a hiccup lately, but the Jets are second overall in the entire league. Rick, what do you like about the way they're playing this season?
Listen, I think if you go back to the last couple of years, we had good teams there, and that's an excellent hockey team they have there. You learn a lot by sometimes losing, and we had a couple of tough playoff exits, and that did not sit well with the players. And you could tell right from the start of the season that they were more determined than ever just to make the team better. And I see the chemistry of the team is absolutely huge. If you go back to last year, before we traded for Monahan, before we traded for Toffoli, those were the lines that we played with. And I know we lost Dylan, but Dylan Sandberg has stepped up and doing a great job. So the chemistry of the team has been being built for the last couple of years, and you can see it on the ice, and you can see how much they care for each other and are playing for each other, something that we clearly had to address a couple of years ago, but the players have all bought in. But what I really like is the chemistry of the lines, the chemistry of the team, and you can see it on the ice and the cohesiveness because of the time they've spent together. And again, if you go back to last year, and I think the point I want to make is that early in the year, for those first 20 games, they had a full healthy lineup. Yeah. And when you have a full healthy lineup, you have got to win. When your lineup is healthy, you've got to take full advantage of that, and you've got to win as many games as you can, because eventually you're going to get banged up a little bit and miss a couple of key guys, which has happened to them. So, but the chemistry is there, and I just love the way they're playing hard for each other.
The Canucks know all about health issues. Rick, a couple of years for you in Winnipeg, what was it like being able to depend on Connor Hellebuyck night after night, game after game?
Listen, there's not a good coach in this league that doesn't have a great goaltender behind him. And the league is becoming more and more of that. You're just, without elite goaltending in our league today, man, you're just not going very far. You've got to have it. Listen, Connor Hellebuyck is clearly one of the top 2 or 3 goalies in the league. Could be at times he's certainly the number one guy, as he proved last year with the Vezina, and he's going to take another run at it this year. He's outstanding. And again, great goaltending makes everyone in front of them play better, and they make better coaches for sure. But when the players know that, okay, we're going into this game, we may not have our A game, but we know our goaltender is going to give us every chance to win a game every night. And you're going to have slow starts to games. You're going to have stretches in the middle of the game. You're not playing well, and your goalie's got to bail you out and keep giving you a chance to win. And that's what he does so well. When the team is not on top of their game, he continues to give them a great opportunity to win every game. He's just outstanding. He's a great competitor. You just love being around the guy because he loves the game. He's got a tremendous passion for it. He's a great teammate, works his butt off every day. He's everything you want in your elite goaltender. But again, our league, more and more, without elite goaltending, you're not going very far. The league is too tight. The league is too close. And most games are decided by the goaltender more than anything.
And Rick, elite defenseman, we got a guy here, Quinn Hughes, 28 minutes last night. He could win the Norris again. What impresses you the most, Rick, when you watch Quinn Hughes play?
His poise with the puck and his hockey IQ. And it's not just one thing, but it's skating ability. He packages it all together. and that's what makes him so dominant. And he is out there. Like, he's not the biggest guy, but he has incredible hockey IQ, incredible hockey sense. He's got outstanding skating ability, forward, backward, laterally, which you absolutely have to have at his size. And he's got the great skills. So he can handle those minutes because he knows how to play the game the right way, and he doesn't exhaust himself chasing the game all over the ice. He knows when to let the game come to him, and he also knows when to take the game to the opposition when he has the puck. So again, he's fun to watch. He's worth the price of admission, and he is. I love how poised he is with the puck and how well he sees the ice. He knows the right play to make at the right time. Rarely does he turn the puck over. Rarely does he throw it away. He's always seems to be making the right play with the puck. That's his hockey IQ, and just a great feel for the game. But he is a pleasure to watch, and he is going to be absolutely, well, it should be in that running for the Norris again.
We got international hockey coming soon, Rick. Four nations, the Canadian roster and the Americans. Can you tell me what you think of those two? They're loaded. I mean, what are your thoughts on the American roster and the Canadian roster?
They are loaded, absolutely loaded. And listen, you're going. So we just talked about Hellebuck. Okay, yeah. You're going into a sword series, no practice time. So you're throwing guys together, and you give them a kind of a simple game plan, and then you rely on the skill that both teams are loaded up on, and your goaltender. And again, with Bucky in the net, you got to love the American team for sure. But they are loaded. But you look at the talent on all of the teams. You look at the talent on the Canadian team. I'm very disappointed Mark Scheifele didn't make it because he, in my opinion, he's the best player on when the team was selected and the number one team in the league. But listen, there was no wrong answer. They picked an outstanding team, and those are tough calls, and someone's always going to get left off. Both teams, all four teams actually, that you feel should be on there. But man, this is going to be great hockey. And you know what? It's a good thing that they don't have a lot of time to practice. They're going to drop the puck, and now you're going to let the skill and the hockey IQ take over. And it's going to be very, very exciting because of that. There's going to be no time to practice, no time to implement certain systems all over the ice. And now you're just relying on your players. And the other thing to keep in mind when we're watching this series is the timeouts. You've got 9 top forwards on each line that after every timeout, they want to be the next line on the ice. Because they're used to doing that for their teams. Now you're going to have elite players sitting there, and if there's a timeout, they might not get out until the third shift, right? So it's all those little tangibles that are going to come into play in this series starts. But man, it's going to be fantastic hockey. It's going to be great for the world of hockey. It's going to be great for the National Hockey League, and I think we're all, as we should be, excited to watch it because every team is loaded, and it's just going to be exciting. It's going to be great hockey.
Long time coming. Talking with Rick Bowness. Hey, Rick, back to the Canucks. Is it hard to judge what they're up to right now, given something you talked about earlier, all the injuries, all the absences they've had to deal with?
Well, it is, and you're going to be able to judge. Listen, they're a great team. Talks is a great coach, and they've got great management there. So, listen, they're in a good spot. You can't take the key players out of your lineup like they have, and no coach will sit there and make excuses. I can do that now because I'm not involved. But you can't take your number one goaltender out of there as long as they have, and the key injuries that they've had, and expect the team to be exactly where, at the top of the league. They will get there. They're a great team. They're well coached, well managed, and they're going to be fine. It's just when you have that many injuries to key guys, starting with your number one goaltender, it's tough. So give them a lot of credit for hanging in there. And there's better days ahead because they get those players back. They're going to get on a roll.
When's the last time you didn't coach?
Probably 1983.
Wow. How much do you miss it, Rick?
Listen, when I made that decision to step back and retire from coaching, I knew I would miss all of it, and I do. But I also know it was time. So but I miss everything about it. But Judy, my wife, I always told her, when I retire, you're going to miss it more than I do. And she does, because she's so good with the wives and she loves the games and everything. But I listen, I miss every part of it, and I do. But I knew that. But it was my decision. I'm leaving on my terms, not nobody else's terms. Somebody's not showing me the door. I knew it was time. I knew I needed a break from the coaching, just the way I felt at the end of last year. But I'm energized again, and but I knew it was time, and so it just makes it a lot easier when it's your call, when it's your decision. That it's no one's saying, "Okay, Bones, you're done. It's time." I made that call, and that's what makes it a lot easier to live with.
Well, I thought you were going to say Judy misses hockey because you're around too much now.
No, we haven't hit that stage yet. We're good.
Rick, this has been great. We'll get you back on. Thanks so much for this.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.